All right, now in the PATACH ELIYAHU, where we got to is page Taf Kuf. Taf Kuf. Read across the top. So we have Ribon Ha'olmim, Antu Ilus ala Ilus, Sibus Asibus. These two words, Ilus is an interesting word, but because it's the word al in it. But the cause of causes is and it waters the tree with this flow. Nishmas of the gufa, it's like a neshama to the body. The ihu achayim, the gufa, it is the life source of the body. Bach list dimyon v'list diyuknam b'kol ma the lagov of the lagov olavar. And so there's nothing similar to it. There's no image of it or comparison to it, anything that's inside or outside. Overat Shemaya Va'ara, and it creates the heaven and earth. V'afikas minachum shimsha v'sich ruch v'kochabayim mazolai, so it brings all of this out. Uba'ar ba'ilin uba'ara, and the land, Eloyin v'dushayin v'ginsa the Eden, and all of that. V'chevan v'ofen v'nunin v'denosha. So he says, I'll read this next part, but it's really part of another little shtickle. The ishtamod, and why is this all brought out? The ishtamod b'chom Eloyin, in order to make known that there's something panimi, Eloyin, up above, or he could go along with those other words, ilus ilus, that's causing all of this. Is nagum b'chom Eloyin v'saton, and then how all the rest will run, both the upper worlds and the lower worlds. Well, let's see what he meant by that. He has a blurb here, so let's look at that. The blurb says, Ein Sof Boruch Hu b'soch olamo. So now, after we've talked about this, Besis spheres that silus of olamos abia, Choser ata Eliyahu Hanavi l'daber bebechinas his pashtus or her Ein Sof. We're talking about this, how the light of the Ein Sof Boruch Hu spreads. May reish kol dargan, for the beginning of all levels, and that's the whole concept of levels is a creation. May reish kol dargan v'ad sof kol dargan. May adam kadmon v'ad olam b'chasiya gashmi. Ki ikra tachlis hayichud hu liyached kol lomo. So let's go back, as what we're trying to do is the reason why we're just talking about the bilurim is to bring all of the worlds back into oneness. So he's a kol ha'olamos elyonim v'tachtonim shehiyah kulam la'echod, that all of them would be like one. V'amar zos b'loshen tefillah. So he says this in the language of tefillah. L'orah yichud elyon, in order to arouse an upper yichud. Kodem gilu el sodos al yedech of Rashbi, through Rashbi is going to explain that. So let's go there down below a number bet. There is a little note. So Al Pi the Bear Yitzchak, he said, "V'chatam hu." What's the tam of what? The tam is the yichud. That before we start talking about this, the first thing you have to do is make a yichud in the midos elyonos b'or ha'ein sof. They have to join. We have to bring it back into the ultimate light of the Ein Sof. Shalo ligrom chalida repiru, that the opposite should not happen, which is separation. All of this idea is to join the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. Over Chazaras, Rabbi Akiva, over Hazharas, the warning of Rabbi Akiva, Al Tomru Mayim Mayim. I looked this up, and you may actually have a different, an answer. Here they said this is talking about the four individuals that went into the paradise, and only Rabbi Akiva came out whole. So he said that it's apparently it's a Gemara in Chagiga. He says, Al Talmor Mayim Mayim. When you're on the other side, don't say Mayim Mayim. And they say that what he's talking about, when you come out and you look at the world, or you look at its physicality and whatever it is, I'm not so sure if I'm saying this right, don't call something which is water, which is stone. He says in that case it was shayish, it was marble, something really, really pure looking. Don't call it water. Why? Because I'm not sure that I understand this. It's a very mystical idea. Don't call it water, which is sheker, it's not water. It might look like water, but it's not. So the things is in order, maybe it means to say they should be able to see the root of what's going on and not get involved in the superficialities and by using names. Okay. But anyway, I'm not sure if that's right. Everybody's a little vague about what it means that I saw. So this is a lot more you could see about this. The Bear Yitzchak, Indian Zechel the Kaman, Ba'aros al Divra Maskil, etc. We'll see that there. Come Rebbe Shimon Pasuk the Omar. So that's that. So let's go on a little bit more, and let's now read the whole little piece. The prayer is like this. So this is ELIYAHU speaking. Ribon Olamim, that is, who is he speaking to? He's speaking to the Ein Sof Boruch Hu. Antu ilos ilos atuhu ila the call ilos. You are the cause of all causes. Ki kol ilos alulos mimcha. Because any other thing that you could say, well, this breath is to that, but before that there had to have been before that, and ultimate all those things which bring things together that cause things to happen all come from the Ein Sof Boruch Hu. Ba'ato hu sibas sibas, again, the cause of causes, ki ein siba kodemis the Ein Sof Boruch Hu, there is no siba that came before Kodesh Baruch Hu. We call olam hakodel l'chavera nechshav ilo v'siva cholov, so every word call olam that came first, l'chavera nechshav ilo v'siva cholov. So it's like the okay, well, let me get into more. So whatever is up above, it says like it's the cause of what's down below. V'orcha Ein Sof Boruch Hu, who kadma l'kulam, is in front of all of them. It came before all of them. Now number Gimel here, he says Al Pi Shalos Ratzon Uber L'Chad Ro'i, just getting some names and back into the fortune that they're working on. Hu Kamosha Kasev Rabbeinu Charizach Be'etz Chaim, he says like the V'zel L'Shon Da Shein Safa Shel Olam Vo'ed Hashgachasim Ma'atzel B'nei Tzolim Enu Nipsekes Rega Echad. So his hashgacha and all that he created never stops. Even when you have sinning down below and people are really turning from Hashem, it still keeps flowing. So he says this does not happen, or we say it like this, so it never stops. This ha'ara that's coming from up above, which is dai sifukum, see this which is sufficient to keep all the lower worlds going. Nipsekas klal, it never stops at all. Okay, so little bit attitudes about that, about what we're talking about. Let me see. Okay, just try to see where we're at. Let's go on after number Gimel. After number Gimel, it says the ashke le'ila the neviu. It waters the plant, the tree, with this flow. Mashka esa ilan hakadosh hem esa spheres tetzilos. Now we're talking about this. Now what is it we're talking about? The Siba. The Siba ultimately brings, like waters the plants of the tree of Olam Atzilos. V'osach hamavu, with that flow shall or Ein Sof shofea b'kol the spheres, which is flowing into all of the spheres, v'hamadregos ma'adan kadman v'zer anpin hanikra Elon. Zer anpin is called the Elon, and he has a little bit note on the word Elon. He says pirish al pi ber l'chai roi. So this is how that pirish goes. Zel l'shona, so what the ber l'chai roi says. Masha marna the penimius ha'oros shehem sod machshava. So that's a thought. That's a thought. He says what we said up above, that the panemius of the oros are considered to be in the secret of thought, the lego that's on the inside. What is it that he said this here? He says that this is the concept of a thought. This thought, I don't know what he means by that, but in thought is what is inside of all the different aspects, and they act as if like the sap or the water that runs the tree. Amar Shagam Zera B'Hashgacha Pratis, and this is not just taking place, it's intended from Mishgacha Pratis, more Ein Sof Boruch Hu, Meir B'Benimius Adam Kadmon, which shines into the inside of Adam Kadmon, V'hum Meir V'Holech Ad Zer Anpen, and it continues to shine. That is, this stream that we're talking about gets into Zer Anpen, all the way down to Zer Anpen of Etzilus. So then this comes, this flow into the inside, in order to water it, to bring it life, just like that. So now let's look a little bit more. He says, V'hine, b'firish ha'ilin mihu. So explaining the Elon, he says, we're going to explain it like that. What does they say? She'es Ratzon, that Eis Ratzon is another Pirush, Mefarish Khan, Ba'ofen Prati is a specific or a special idea of his own. Yosa Shachal Yosa, that what is what? Shakavana al Esses Spheres, the Adam Kadmon, that what we're talking about is on the inside of the 10 spheres of Adam Kadmon. V'hu Mitzayim Od Shakan, he points out furthermore that Shakan Ashbo in the Shachafil in the Rantchi the Ak. These are the oros of Ak. Now you're talking about Ak is almost completely, totally transparent. And in the Rantchi that's on the Panemius of that, Nechshavik Gufa the Gabe or Ein Sof. But look at this, is that what brings Chiyus to Ak has within inside a Nechshavik Gufa, that Chiyus itself, those oros that the Rantchi, it's considered to be inside of it, is the Aura Ein Sof Boruch Hu. There is always an inside of the inside, and the ultimate inside, as we see, is the Aura, the Ein Sof Boruch Hu. Hamislavish B'Sochel L'Hachiyoso, L'Hachiyos Kol L'Olomos, and bring life force into all of the Lomos. V'Zichron Menachem B'Far Shaha'ilon Huzer Anpen, and he says, as it's easy to see that someone would say that this is the Aura Ein Sof, or this is Shaha'ilon, the word tree goes on with the Zer Anpen Kedisha. V'Haniviu Hashofeh B'Sochu Hu Shem Ma Kayudua. So I think maybe we saw that again, it's the name Ma. I think that's that on that one there. Let's see, we have a few minutes, so let's do a little bit more. So after number 4, up above number Daled, it says V'Hahu Neviu, we're talking about the flow. Ikul Nishbas of the Gufa. So that's what he said. He said in number Daled, he said even the lights themselves, which are the Hiyus, have the Ein Sof within inside of them. V'osach ma'avu shel or Ein Sof hamachayach b'chasakol hu ka'ayin and the sham of the Guf. I'm just reading along. The Ihu Chaim the Gufa, which is the life of the body. So the question is, say, well, where actually is the source of our breath? The breath goes along with the concept of neshima, which is very similar to the word neshama. He said that there's a panemius there. He wants to say there's a panemius that starts that to be. Shechoyach anosenes chaim the guf, and this is what brings life to the body. Because Shem Shehi Asher the Guf his Kaim Afilu Rega below Neshama, so you have to have this Neshama. The Neshama brings about a Neshima. Kach Ein B'Yecholas Ha'Esed Spheres the his Kaim. So there you see there's no possibility for the 10 spheres to exist. Af Rega, even for a moment. In other words, there's no possibility of any physicality coming around at all. Bilade or Ha'Ein Sof Anogea B'Shofea B'Chem L'Achiyosam. Now let's look down below as we have like a couple of minutes. We'll look at number Hey and see what it says. So number Hey says, and it went on the phrase, Sof Amachaya as a kol hu ka'ayin in the neshama the guf, ki or Ein Sof Boruch Hu nishmas kol hu neshamas. It is the ultimate life force. Ki al seder yechida, so he is al seder yechida chaya neshama ruach nevesh, another the Rantchi. Bina hi bebechin the neshama. Bina is the aspect called neshama. V'or chachma hanikra chaya hu k'neshama. The neshama is just spelling it out. V'or atik hanikra or Ein Sof, that is b'hashayla, in other words, relative to what's below it, is like the or the Ein Sof. Hu b'bechinat yechida. V'or Ein Sof be'etzem hu nishmas akol, but inside of the yechida, which is the panemius of the panemius of the panemius. There's a panemius to that. Which is the Ein Sof Boruch Hu, nishmas akol gam ba'adam kadmon. So he says Kisim, and this is from the Kisim Melech. Let's look down to number Zion, because number Zion has a little. Let's see, we have 1 minute. So let me see if I can say it. Kashem shehi after the guf lechiyos belin nishmas neshama besocho b'min miuso. Kach av pi shel Hashem yisbarach uvar barak al olam v'nasa bechem koach hayeshus v'chakiyum. Afal pi kein I asher l'shum olam. So all of this complication, all of the planets, all of the earth and everything that's in it, I asher l'shum olam mereish kol dargim ad sof kol dargim. Lichiyos beloch b'hai niviu b'kol yom tomid below hepsek. Af rega echad meir af rega echad v'meir ha'ma'or ha'shofea v'novea me'ein sof Boruch Hu ha'mitzlavet b'socha k'nish b'socha b'gufa di'ichu chayim l'gufa. V'ashbal inin dechafila olam ha'elyon. Which is that? Hashabal yonim, which is Ak. Hakagon adam kadmo nechshav kaguf the gaber be'or ha'ein sof. It's like a body in regards to the Ein Sof. It's nothing. But inside of that is the or the Ein Sof, ha'ein sof Baruch Hu ha'mislavish b'socha l'hachiyosa, that really is inside of it. That's what makes it appear. V'chein hu b'kol olomos ber l'chayo ro'i, says that. Okay, that's the shir today. Wow. It was a long shir. I'm really not in shape. So got to get into shape. Thanks for learning with me, Rabbi, so much. Kol tov.